Let me tell you something right now. Nobody's coming. Not your mama, not your boss, not your best friend, not a politician, not the universe. No one is coming to fix your life. No one is coming to push you out of bed. No one is coming to hand you the dream you've been talking about for years. Stop waiting, seriously. Stop sitting around hoping someone, somewhere, somehow is going to show up and change your life, because they're not. No one is coming. No mentor, no friend, no family member, no boss, no hero is going to swoop down and magically solve your problems, hand you your dream, or push you to become who you were meant to be. That's not how life works. This idea that help is on the way is a comforting lie. And most people cling to it because it gives them an excuse to stay still, to delay, to procrastinate. I'm just waiting for the right moment. Once someone gives me a chance, I'll go for it. Well, I'm sure something will happen eventually. No, the only thing that will happen is time passing you by while you sit in the same place, the same mindset, living the same life you've been complaining about. If you want to change your situation, you have to take control of it. That's the truth. It's uncomfortable, but it's empowering, because it means you're not powerless. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't even need all the answers. You just need to make a decision. I'm done waiting. I'm taking charge. You are responsible for your life, not your parents, not your partner, not your job. You. The moment you fully accept that is the moment things start to shift. Not magically, not instantly, but everything begins to align when you stop pointing fingers and start taking action. That dream you have, it's yours for a reason. Nobody else sees it the way you do. Nobody else feels it in their gut like you do. So why are you waiting for someone else to validate it? Why are you waiting for someone to say, now's the time? The time is now, right now, while you're breathing, while your heart is beating, while you still have time left on the clock. Here's the hard truth. Most people won't understand your vision. Most people won't support you until it's done. And even then, some will pretend like they always believed in you. That's fine. Let them talk. Let them doubt. You don't need the crowd. You need commitment. You need grit. You need to wake up every day and remind yourself, if I don't do this, it won't get done. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's a gift. It means you're in control. It means you don't have to wait to be chosen. You don't have to beg for opportunities. You can create your own. You can build the life you want with your own hands, brick by brick. Will it be hard? Absolutely. Will you fall? Probably more than once. But each time you get back up, you get stronger. Each time you take responsibility, you take your power back. No one is coming to save you. And that's a good thing, because you don't need saving. You need action. You need focus. You need courage. You need to believe that what you do today matters, even if no one claps for it yet. This is your life. Own it. Every piece of it. Every mistake, every win, every lesson. Don't run from the struggle. Face it. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. Start now. You're capable of more than you think, but nothing happens until you decide to take the wheel. So stop waiting. No more hoping for a handout or a shortcut. Look in the mirror. That's your hero. That's your savior. And they've been there all along. Now get to work. Success doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how you came from, what you didn't have, how unfair life has been, or how tired you feel. It's cold like that. Unapologetic. And while that may sound harsh, it's also the most honest truth you'll ever hear. You can have the saddest story, the most difficult upbringing, the roughest road. But if you let that be your reason not to show up, you lose. Not because you aren't deserving, but because success isn't sentimental. It rewards those who deliver, not those who explain why they couldn't. Now, that doesn't mean your pain isn't real. It doesn't mean your struggle doesn't matter. But life doesn't give out points for pain alone. The world doesn't slow down just because you're hurting. While you're dealing with heartbreak, setbacks, loss, and frustration, the clock keeps ticking, the game keeps playing, and the competition keeps moving forward. You can sit on the sidelines and talk about why things are hard, or you can lace up and get in the game, because talking never scored a point. Everyone has a reason they could quit. Everyone has a story filled with obstacles. What separates those who make it from those who don't is simple. The ones who make it show up anyway. Broken, bruised, afraid, unqualified, whatever it is, they don't let it stop them. They keep showing up. They keep swinging. They keep pushing when the odds are against them. That's what makes the difference. Success isn't about having the perfect path. It's about being relentless. It's about pushing past the excuses and saying, yeah, it's hard. I'm still doing it. You're tired, so is the person chasing the same goal. You're scared, so the people who went before you. You're unsure, welcome to the club. Nobody starts out fearless or certain. The winners are just the ones who kept moving despite the fear. And here's the thing, the more you feed your excuses, the more power they gain. The more you explain why you can't, the more convincing that story becomes. But the truth is, most excuses aren't rooted in reality. They're rooted in comfort. It's easier to say, I can't, than it is to say, I will, no matter what. You have to decide what matters more, your comfort or your calling, because they don't live in the same place. One keeps you safe, the other pulls you into the fire, into the unknown, into the grind. That's where success lives, not in the easy, but in the effort. And let's be real, success doesn't remember excuses, it remembers results. The people who win are not the ones who had the best circumstances. They're the ones who refuse to be defined by their limitations. They turned every I can't into watch me. They took the hand they were dealt and played it like it was royal flush. So what's it going to be? Another excuse or another level? Another delay or another decision? You don't need sympathy. You need strategy. You don't need pity. You need persistence. You don't need someone to feel bad for you. You need to get back in the fight. Show up, even when it hurts, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. Especially then, because that's when the champions are made, not when it's easy, but when it would have been easier to quit and they didn't. Success doesn't care about excuses, but it pays those who refuse to make them. So stop explaining, start executing. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. That's not where strength is built, and it's certainly not where character is formed. Comfort is a trap, an illusion that tells you you're doing fine when deep down, you know you're not pushing yourself. You know you're not becoming who you could be. Real growth, the kind that transforms you, stretches you, elevates you, it only shows up when things get uncomfortable. Pain, struggle, challenge. These aren't signs you're failing. They're signs you're growing. Think about it. When does a muscle grow? When it's under tension, when it's pushed past its limits, when it tears just enough to rebuild stronger. The same thing applies to your mind, your habits, your life. If you're always seeking comfort, you're avoiding the very experiences that make you better. Discomfort is a signal. It means you're stepping into new territory. It means you're doing something you haven't done before. That fear, that unease, that friction, it's all part of the process. It's not there to stop you. It's there to test you. To ask, how bad do you want it? How willing are you to be stretched, humbled, and shaped into someone stronger? Everyone wants growth until they feel what growth actually requires. It's messy. It's tiring. It demands sacrifice. It forces you to let go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. But here's the thing. No one becomes great without going through the fire. Nobody wakes up disciplined, confident, successful, or strong. They become that way through struggle. You'll never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option. You'll never know how focused you can be until distractions come at you from every angle. You'll never know your true potential until life knocks you down and you have to decide whether you'll stay there or get up and keep swinging. Stop avoiding the hard stuff. Lean into it. That uncomfortable conversation you've been putting off, have it. That goal that scares you because you don't know where to start, take the first step. That discipline you keep delaying, build it. One small act at a time. That version of you you've been dreaming about, they're on the other side of the pain you're trying to avoid. The truth is, Nothing meaningful comes without struggle. That business you want to build, that body you want to transform, that skill you want to master, it's all going to require effort beyond what you're used to. And yes, it'll hurt. It'll stretch your patience, test your faith, and challenge your limits. But that's how you rise. That's how you earn the next level. Comfort is easy, but comfort won't give you purpose. It won't give you power. It won't give you pride. Because deep down, you'll know you're playing it safe. You'll know you're capable of more. And that knowledge will eat at you. Every day you stay in your comfort zone is another day you rob yourself of your own greatness. So start chasing discomfort, embrace the challenges, push past the resistance, because that's where the breakthrough lives. That's where transformation begins. The pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. The struggle isn't a sign to stop, it's a signal to keep going. Growth is supposed to be hard. That's what makes it real. So when you feel uncomfortable, don't run, lean in. That's the path, that's the process. And if you stick with it, you won't just grow. You'll evolve. You'll become someone even you didn't know you could be. And that's worth every ounce of discomfort. You don't need the world to believe in you. That's the biggest myth out there, that you need support, applause, validation, or permission before you can start chasing what's in your heart. But let me tell you the truth. Belief starts within. That's where everything begins. Before anyone claps for you, before anyone even sees you, you have to see yourself. You have to believe in your own worth, your own vision, your own ability to grow into the person you're meant to be. Waiting for others to believe in you is a trap. People are quick to doubt what they don't understand, especially when your dreams are bigger than their vision. Some of the closest people in your life won't support you, not because they don't love you, but because they don't believe it's possible for them. And if they don't see it for themselves, how can they see it for you? But that's not your problem. It's not your job to convince anyone. It's your job to build yourself, to wake up every day and choose to believe. No matter what the world is saying, no matter how slow the progress feels, no matter how many setbacks try to shake your confidence, belief is quiet at first. It starts like a whisper, a small feeling that says, maybe I can. That whisper, that's your power trying to speak. Don't ignore it. Don't silence it with doubt. Feed it, fuel it, protect it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your future depends on your ability to keep believing, especially when there's no evidence yet. Confidence doesn't just show up, it's built. It's earned through consistent action, through keeping promises to yourself, through showing up when it would be easier to quit. Every time you keep going, you reinforce the belief. Every time you push through fear, you tell yourself, I've got this. And the more you do that, the louder that inner voice gets, until one day it's no longer a whisper, it's a roar. People will start to notice. Eventually, they'll ask how you did it. They'll think it happened overnight. They won't see the days you moved forward in silence, the nights you questioned everything, the moments you were your only cheerleader. But you'll know. You'll know the belief was built brick by brick from the inside out. Too many. You don't need external validation. You don't need likes, followers, or applause. What you need is internal alignment. You need to believe that you're worth the effort, that you're capable of more, that your dream wasn't placed in you by accident. It was planted in you for a reason. And it's your job to bring it to life. When you believe in yourself, you start to move differently. You stop begging and start building. You stop explaining and start executing. You stop shrinking and start standing tall. People can feel it. The world may not understand it at first, but eventually it will have no choice but to respect it. But it won't start out there. It starts in here, in your heart, in your mind, in that part of you that knows there's more, in the decision to bet on yourself even if no one else will. So don't wait for the world to believe in you. Believe in yourself first. That's the foundation. That's the fire. And once it's lit, there's nothing and no one that can stop you. There are no shortcuts. That's the truth people don't want to hear. In a world obsessed with hacks, quick fixes, instant results, and overnight success stories, the real path to greatness is simple, but not easy. You have to take the stairs, one step at a time, no skipping, no elevator rides to the top, just sweat, discipline, and consistent effort over time. Everyone wants the reward, but few are willing to endure the process. We live in a culture that glorifies the destination but ignores the climb. We scroll through highlight reels and assume success should come fast. But what you don't see in those moments are the early mornings, the lonely nights, the missed parties, the sacrifices, the failures, and the grind that built every inch of that victory. Success is not about speed, it's about staying power. It's about who can keep going when it's boring, when it's hard, when no one's watching, and when the results are nowhere in sight. That's what separates the ones who talk from the ones who do. Because hype fades, excitement wears off, but consistency, that's what builds empires. Taking the stairs means you accept the process, you understand that progress is slow, you know that real transformation takes time. Whether it's building a business, getting in shape, mastering a skill, or changing your life, there's no fast lane. You're going to have to put in the work and then do it again tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. There's a reason most people don't make it. The stairs are exhausting. They're repetitive. You don't always see how far you've come until you stop and look back, and sometimes you wonder if it's even worth it. But that's where growth happens. That's where your character is built. That's where you prove to yourself and to the world that you're not just interested, you're committed. Everyone wants to be successful until they find out what it actually costs. It costs comfort, it costs convenience, it costs ego, it costs time. But if you're willing to pay the price, the payoff is worth it, not just because of the result, but because of who you become in the process. You become resilient, you become focused, you become dangerous in the best way, disciplined, driven, and unshakable. And here's the truth. The stairs don't lie. You can't cheat them. You can't skip the work. You can't fake effort. The stairs will expose you. Either you're putting in the work or you're not. And if you are, they will reward you slowly, quietly, but surely. Some days you'll want to quit. Some days you'll wish there was a faster way. But don't fall for the shortcut mindset. Shortcuts often cut short your growth. They rob you of the lessons, the grit, and the grind that prepare you for the level you're chasing. If you don't earn it, you won't keep it, because when life tests you, and it will, it's not your talent or your charm that saves you, it's your work ethic. It's your discipline, it's your foundation. So take the stairs, embrace the climb, trust the process. Show up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because every step you take is one closer to the top. And when you get there, you'll know you earned it. Not because it was easy, but because you kept going when others quit. That's success. Not a sprint, but a staircase. Step by step, day by day, no shortcuts, just the work. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather, unpredictable, inconsistent, and unreliable. One day you wake up feeling inspired, ready to conquer the world, and the next you can't even find the energy to get out of bed. That's just how motivation works. It's a spark, not a fuel source. If you're depending on it to carry you to your goals, you'll quit the second things get hard. That's why discipline matters more. Because discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it demands action no matter what. Discipline is the engine. It's what keeps you moving forward when your mind is screaming for comfort. It's the voice inside you that says, I don't want to do this right now, and still laces up the shoes, hits the gym, opens the laptop, or gets back to the grind. Discipline doesn't care about mood. And that's exactly why it works, because while motivation waits for the perfect moment, discipline creates results. Everybody wants to be great when they're inspired. That's easy. It's easy to go hard when you're hyped up by a new idea, a good song, or a motivational speech. But what about when the excitement fades? What about when you're tired, discouraged, overwhelmed, or simply bored? That's where most people stop. It's where they say, I'm not feeling it today, and put their goals on pause. But greatness isn't built on mood. It's built on habits, on routine, on doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather do anything else. You want to change your life? Then stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated, because that feeling might not show up tomorrow. It might not show up next week. But your goals don't care about your feelings, they care about your consistency. You don't need to feel like it, you just need to do it. Think about the people who are crushing it, the athletes, the artists, the entrepreneurs. You think they motivated every single day? Not a chance. What they are is disciplined. They have systems, they have structure, they've trained themselves to follow through regardless of whether they're in the mood. That's what separates the amateurs from the pros. Discipline is what builds legacies. Discipline is doing the work when no one's watching. It's showing up when there's no spotlight, no recognition, no applause. It's choosing the long-term payoff over the short-term pleasure. It's getting up early when you could sleep in. Saying no to distraction, saying yes to the grind over and over again, every day, no excuses. Now, that doesn't mean you'll be perfect. You'll slip, you'll stumble. That's part of the journey. But discipline means you get back up. You don't let one bad day turn into a bad week. You don't let a moment of weakness define your path. You realign, you reset, and you keep moving. Because the truth is, discipline gives you freedom. The freedom to be who you want to be, to live how you want to live, to look in the mirror and respect the person staring back at you, not because they're always motivated, but because they're committed. They made a choice, not just once, but every single day. So if you're serious about your goals, make discipline your foundation. Build your life on structure, not emotion, on purpose, not impulse. Show up, do the work, keep going. Even when you're not motivated, especially when you're not motivated.